Hi, I'm Chris Carroll with the Kansas City, Missouri Office of Emergency Management, speaking to you from the Emergency Operations Center, where we monitor things like severe weather or like the recent St. Patty's Day parade. Do you know what to do in severe weather? We're currently hopefully have winter behind us, and we're heading into severe tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. One of the ways you can prepare yourself for these events is to practice drills at home or at work, so you know where to go during severe weather.
Please take your personal belongings.
The City of Kansas City yearly holds tornado drills so that our employees know where to go during a real tornado. We also test our sirens monthly, weather permitting, on the first Wednesday of the month. Some people have said that they do not hear the sirens when they're indoors, in their houses or in their businesses. The sirens are not designed to be heard indoors. If you're outdoors and you hear the siren, you should seek shelter and then find out more information, such as where is the tornado, what direction is the tornado heading, and when is it safe for you to come out of your shelter. Our sirens do not sound when it is safe for you to come out of your shelter. They sound when there's another tornado coming. A good way to get more information is to have a NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio. Another way to receive alerts is to sign up for Alert KC, the city's text notification system. To receive alerts, just text your zip code to 888-777. You can also sign up at nixle.com and choose what type of alerts you want to receive, as well as put in multiple locations so you can receive alerts for your work, home, or school. And these days, almost everybody has a cell phone, and you can download weather apps to keep you and your family informed during severe weather when you're not able to get to your NOAA weather radio or a television or a radio to find out the information there. To be ready for severe weather or any other type of emergency, you should have a kit at home for yourself and your family. You can start your kit by downloading our checklist from our website. The kit should contain the items that you need for at least 72 hours. Some items that you should have in your kit include water, food, flashlights, first aid supplies, and you can find other items for your kit on our website. Remember, make your kit usable for yourself and your family, including your pets. From weather, we move on to another topic important to the residents of Kansas City. The City Council recently passed a plan to phase out contracted trash collection. Last year, more than 78% of the complaints regarding trash and recycling were about contractors. This plan will reduce the number of complaints and save taxpayer dollars. Check out this video about the new trash proposal, followed by other videos regarding important topics in Kansas City. I'm Chris Carroll with the Office of Emergency Management. Thank you for watching the Weekly Report.
The Kansas City Council has voted to phase out contracted trash collection. Moving trash operations in-house is expected to save nearly $20 million over the next 10 years. The city recognizes that resident satisfaction with trash services have declined over the last few years. This new plan will improve service, reduce complaints, and save taxpayer dollars. The Solid Waste Division is finalizing the plan and time schedule to transfer trash services in-house. The plan will be presented to the City Council for final approval.
Our citizens are not happy with the level of service being provided. So we looked at improving bulk item collection. So one of the things that you see is an improvement in bulk item collection to add more appointments to bulk item collection so we can get back to monthly collection citywide.
Additional bulky pickups will also help reduce illegal dumping.
The model that we've used for 40 years is probably coming to an end.
The proposed plan allows solid waste to expand bulky item and leaf and brush pickups. It will also help enhance neighborhood cleanup programs. Under the plan, the Solid Waste Division will hire nearly 80 new workers and add nearly 24 new trash trucks. A citywide in-house trash collection program could begin as early as 2020. Recycling collection is under contract until 2024 and is unaffected by the new trash collection plan.
The Kansas City Artists Coalition has been around for over 40 years, and while much has changed in the arts and cultural landscape of the city, what has remained consistent is the focus of the Artists Coalition's mission, which is on local and regional visual artists. Here to tell us more about the organization is new Executive Director, Marissa Stark. Marissa, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for joining us.
And the Artists Coalition has been around for 40 years, and that is no small feat for any organization. Can you talk to us about what you attribute the success and the longevity to of the coalition?
Absolutely. So 1976, a handful of artists actually gathered just up the street on Delaware in the studios of Philomene Bennett and Leigh Merrick to discuss this concept of how to bring local awareness and local voice and representation to local artists. At that point, there was no crossroads. There weren't a whole lot of galleries looking at local artists. They were always bringing people in from the coasts, Chicago, Miami, but there was no space for local artists that were viable and vibrant as well. So they got together thinking there maybe be a handful of people that would show up. They walked away, posted these notes across the city, came back, and 100 artists were at their door, knocking on the doors, ready to talk about this conversation. Mm-hmm. And in that meeting, they decided there was a need for a space that was artist-run and locally and regionally focused. And that was the beginning of the Artists Coalition. And I think at that point, they decided the mission and values of the organization was intended to support local artists and regional artists and give voice and educate the community on the importance of these local artists and the value that this region has.
And what about, in addition to the exhibitions that you have, you also have workshops. So you not only support artists by having a venue space for them, but you also provide educational opportunities as well.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a two-part approach that we have. We provide solo exhibitions like the one we're standing in currently in 4 gallery spaces. We also do group exhibitions, and those are educational in and of themselves. We really work with emerging artists and artists at mid-career to help them learn how to properly install a show, how to promote themselves, and how to just be good voices for their own art and business. On the other side of the educational component, we are looking at workshops that teach kind of the business of art. So talking about legal advice, accounting services in the community for artists specifically. We also talk about social media and marketing strategies and a variety of other generals of how to be a good artist and be a good business person at the same time. So we're kind of tackling it from 2 different sides.
And I understand there's change coming up and that you're also looking for a venue for your own space. You're all looking for your own space.
Absolutely, yeah. So the organization has been graciously hosted in the current spaces for the past 33 years. And as you mentioned, with the changes in cityscape and landscape, we also are looking to maybe change it up a little bit. The building was sold in October of this last year. And so now we're looking at maybe changing our current venue. So we've been looking all over the city to see what makes sense for us and what the community needs are, and really having an exciting opportunity to reevaluate how we can even better serve the community here in Kansas City.
Well, you've got a lot of adventures ahead, it sounds like. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about the organization. And if people are interested in submitting artwork or in finding out more about your organization and the exhibits, where would they go?
The best place is to go to the website. So, and that's www.kansascityartistscoalition.org.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.
The Kansas City, Missouri Police Department has many specialized units, but the job of a hostage negotiator is one that doesn't get as much attention until there's a crisis, sometimes known as an Operation 100. Depending on the incident, whether it be a suicidal barricaded gunman, hostage situation, or a jumper, the team leader on the scene of the incident will request the hostage negotiation team respond to the command post. Officer Rita Olsen-Stawicki has been a hostage negotiator for KCPD for more than 10 years. It's a stressful job that has changed over the years, which is why training is always ongoing.
Hardly anybody has a home phone anymore. No more landlines. And there was ways to manipulate a landline as a negotiator, but hardly anybody has them. Now we have social media. We, believe it or not, have negotiated by text, Facebook. Negotiations has come a long way. So cell phones, you know, it's no longer call them on the landline and you start talking.
The job doesn't always involve talking with a hostage taker, but sometimes a suicidal person may need intervention. Each incident is different, and that's why Olsen-Stawicki says it takes a special individual to be a hostage negotiator.
You have to have empathy, because whenever you get called to these types of calls, a lot of times people are in crisis. And you've got to deal with that crisis. You're on a roller coaster with them. Whenever you're on the phone with them, you're up and down with them. And you've got to have empathy for them. And you've got to talk them basically off that ledge and bring them down, bring them to kind of what I call reality. Okay, you know, are you willing to talk now? Because a lot of times the negotiations start where, because they are in crisis, they are, you know, just all over everywhere, and you just listen and you let them calm down, and then you start talking. And that's when the most good is done, is whenever you're able to talk.
All hostage negotiators have also undergone training with the KCPD Crisis Intervention Team, which helps those with mental illness. But the myths and misperceptions about the work of a negotiator can make things difficult because of how the role has been played in movies and on television.
You're talking to somebody, whenever the movie The Negotiator came out with Samuel L. Jackson, I would be talking to people on the phone and they would go, well, that's not how Samuel will do it. And I would go, well, first off, I'm not Samuel L. Jackson, okay? Number two, that's a movie. Now, let's talk about reality. And the bottom line is, you're not getting the helicopter. You're not getting the $1 million, you know. But we want a peaceful resolution where you walk out that front door and nobody gets hurt. That is my goal on every negotiation.
The scene of a barricaded gunman, hostage taker, or suicidal party can be a tense moment for everyone involved. For this reason, Olsen-Stawicki advises members of the public to provide whatever help they can.
If you know the person that is barricaded, or if you know the person that's on that bridge at crisis, the best thing you can do to help them is to talk to the negotiator. Tell the negotiator, you know, stuff that's going to help them, like what's the most important thing in that person's life. If they're a jumper on the bridge, we want to bring them back. They are at crisis. They're up here, and we want them here. Back down here. What is the most important thing in that person's life that, hey, if you jump off this bridge, who's going to raise your children?
Olsen-Stawicki says her goal is to provide a lifeline for those in crisis and to bring the situation to a peaceful resolution. I'm Sergeant Matt Fisher. Have a safe week.